Maverick 100.9, Aggie Land's country alternative. It's Corliss, and get to catch up with somebody I haven't talked to in a while, Mr. Creed Fisher. How are you?
I'm doing good, Corliss. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It is so good to hear from you. You know, I was lucky enough to have you in studio with me right after I started Maverick, and your push to Texas country radio was just getting kicked off. And then we kind of got shut down and didn't get to do this as much anymore.
Yeah, it's been a long 2 or 3 years. I know that.
It's all running together, but we're even luckier today. Not only do we have new music to debut to you from Creed Fisher, but you're finally playing a show in town. You are on your way to the Third Floor Cantina in downtown Bryan this Friday night. And you were saying you've really never gotten close here.
I just always went like a triangle around it. Houston, Dallas, San Antonio.
Yeah. And that seems to be the case sometimes. So anytime we get one of our favorite artists to be able to come into town, especially when we haven't had them before, that's very exciting. And I don't know if you have seen this venue before, if you've spent any time here, but man, it is cool. It is the neatest place.
Not actually on the third floor, is it?
Yes, it actually is.
I hope they have an elevator.
You don't want to be pulling all that stuff up them stairs, do you?
Yeah, the boys are going to be cussing. But no, I did actually go check out the venue. Saw a couple pictures. It looked pretty cool.
It is really a neat place, and we're very fortunate that they're starting to bring in some country music. So everybody listening, I know that you are more used to comedy shows and burlesque shows at the Third Floor Cantina, but they are rocking it up with Creed Fisher, and Creed knows how to country and rock at the same time, which is why we got to play a little bit of music for everybody here. You do have a current single out to Texas radio right now called Life of a Working Man. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's a song I wrote. I've done the Texas chart really weird because I put out so much music and kind of got away from it. And so I'm kind of trying to stay current, but there's certain songs that I feel like I wanted to have on the chart. And this was one of them. It's a song I wrote back in 2016 when I was working for my uncle.
Yeah.
And I had to go back to work. I had spent about a year in Canyon Lake, New Braunfels area, playing, almost starving to death.
Yep.
A couple times, days I didn't eat. So at the end of 2016, I moved back to my mom was having some trouble. She was having hip replacement surgery. And so I went back there and went back to work.
Yeah.
6 a.m. every morning, so I know a lot of people get up earlier than that, but to me, it's not about what time you get up.
It's not.
So many people get hung up on that fact. They put on the video, I'm already done with my job by 6 a.m. And that's not, that's not the point. I don't care if you work night shift, if you work, I don't care what time you're working.
Right.
The fact that you're working and providing for your family and busting your tail to do it, that's all I care about. And that's what the song's about. I had to go back to work and I was building pole line. I'm an electrician, a journeyman electrician. I did that for 20 years before I got into music. I got into music at a later age. I didn't even get music till I was 35 years old, which is weird, but it was just my path. And I'm 47 today. And it was rough. I had to go back to work and it was rough work. It was very physically, demanding. And that song, I was driving my uncle. We actually had to go pick up some equipment and I was just driving around. And I do a lot of my best riding when I'm driving with the radio off, with just silence. And I'm driving down the road and so I wrote that song in like a couple hours.
Right. It sounds like you wrote a song that can represent all sorts of people. Like you said, it doesn't matter what time. We're not talking about specifics, but what we are talking about is whether you're a starving artist, which, believe it or not, is some of the hardest work there is out there, or you're working as an electrician, you're in a building, you're outside, no matter what it is, providing for our families gets harder and harder by the day. And you kind of want to honor people that are hardworking. It's something that should be honored.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. We all have to provide for our families. We all have to get out there. The American dream's there for everybody, but you have to work hard. You have to have a passion for what you're doing. And that's what the song's about. It's about never giving up. It's about loving America. And it's about working hard.
I love it. I am so excited to debut this to everybody here on Maverick. Of course, I'm on with Creed Fisher. He's going to be at the Third Floor Cantina this Friday night, So listen up. If you want a little sneak peek of what you're going to get at the show, it's right now on Maverick 100.9. Due to copyright, Bryan Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you in podcast form, but you can find it on all downloading and streaming services. And today's interview continues now. Maverick 100.9, you just heard it here first. That was Life of a Working Man, Creed Fisher. I've got Creed on with me now. I'm super excited that you are coming to town. You're going to be at the Third Floor Cantina this Friday night. That's in downtown Bryan, an exquisite venue. And of course, we've got the ticket link up for you now at maverickradio.com under the concert calendar. I know you are excited to be in town because this is kind of an off the beaten path for what you typically do. And you and I were talking about starting music later in life. How does it feel now that you have kind of got to drive away from that, you know, getting up at 6 a.m., hitting the grinds, and now you're staying up all night entertaining for everybody? How does that feel for you?
It feels awesome.
Yeah.
It's very hard to make it in music. It's one of the hardest things. And to accomplish what you set out to do, even though it took you a lot longer than you planned, or maybe it was a lot harder than you thought it would be, that just makes it even sweeter, you know. But I do it for the fans, you know. I enjoy interacting with the people that love the music I love, you know, which it seems like it's kind of dying out, you know, but we're trying to keep it alive. Which, I mean, when I say that, I mean, I just mean real, you know, traditional country music with steel guitars. And obviously I play rock and roll too. I play Southern rock. You know, I have a heavy metal. I have a metal song I did. You know, I don't really care about that. I think every genre should have people that are passionate about it and that help it keep going on from one generation to the next. And so it feels really good to be where I'm at. You know, I'm getting too old to ride around in a van, you know?
Yeah. I feel that. And, you know, like you said, it's your own sound. And this is something that's why Maverick celebrates independent artists, because there are a ton of subgenres of country music, and there's nothing wrong with any of them. But what's great is that you put your whole heart and soul to write it and to perform it how you think. The people that you've connected out there with on the road, they're going to show up to your show and they're going to hear exactly in their head is that type of country music that they have to live.
Yes. A lot of people tell me, you know, that they've never really heard a bad song of mine, you know, and it's because I write and sing and put out music that I like, that I would sit down and listen to and think was cool. You know, if I'm listening to something or if I'm writing something and I'm like, I wouldn't like this. I'm not going to put it out. You know, when I put something out, it's because, you know what, I'm sitting there going, oh, this is cool. You know, whether it's country, whether it's rock country or traditional country, my fans they've come to love all that stuff, you know.
I definitely like my country rocked up a little bit.
Our live show is definitely, it's definitely more, it's a blend of both, you know.
Yeah.
It's a blend of Southern rock, and then you get honky tonk.
Yeah.
Two things you get at the show. We don't do many slow songs. We do play Rock and Roll Man, which was our highest charting single on the Texas chart. So we do play one slow song, and then we play my biggest hit, which is The Way That I Am. And so we play 2 slow songs the whole show, and the rest is upbeat. And it's a party. You know, we're trying to make people have a good time and forget their problems.
Oh, man. I'm ready for everybody here in the BCS area to get to experience that for themselves, because I've seen the show. It is loud. You do not sit down. You just crank it up and enjoy. So please, if y'all could go support Creed Fisher this Friday night. He's playing at the Third Floor Cantina in downtown Bryan. It's just going to be an incredible show. And we've got the ticket link up for you now at maverickradio.com. Go get your tickets now and be sure to say hey to Creed for me while you're there. Creed, thank you so much for coming to Maverick and getting everybody pumped for the show.
Well, thank you, Corliss, for having me. I really appreciate it. And I wish you could make the show. But if not, then I'll have a lot of people get back with you and let you know.
Yeah, they're going to have to report back to me, and y'all be nice to him because I love this guy.
It always seems to work out with me and the fans.